Welcome to the High Rankings podcast, brought to you by Dispensary-Growth, the preeminent SEO agency for dispensaries. Each episode will dive into the world of search engine optimization for cannabis dispensaries. We'll discuss the latest strategies and tactics to help your dispensary rank higher on search engines and attract more patients and customers. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, join us as we explore how to maximize your online presence and stay ahead of the competition in the rapidly growing cannabis industry.
Hello, welcome back to episode 72 of the High Ranking Podcast with me, your favorite host, and the other person who sometimes contributes, but not really.
They all love me, guys, whatever.
Anyway, we're almost in September. Can you believe that? I feel like August has been the longest month ever. I mean, 31 days, so I guess. But it just feels like this month's been quite long. But then I'm like, crap, in just a few days, it's going to be September.
Yeah, I saw the date this morning right before our weekly sync. And I was like, whoa, I kind of forgot that. Today's late in the... And it's still ripping 90 degrees here in Denver. It's just gross.
Crazy hot. And then Monday is a holiday.
Yes.
So
I don't even know what I'm doing yet. What are you guys doing?
I don't know. I think if the weather's good, we'll probably go on the boat, I would imagine. They just reopened scallop season here. So you can scallop in pretty much anywhere in Florida during the season. They have an open season they'll give you the dates. It's typically July, August-ish. But they had closed it up here in my county because they had found some weird toxins or something in the scallops. And so they said that they were closing it for basically safety reasons. And I guess they'd only found these high levels of whatever it was in a few scallops. So it wasn't a widespread issue. But I read earlier that they are opening it up tomorrow. And then because everybody missed a bunch of weeks, that they're going to extend it through to close to the end of September. So I would imagine that we'll probably be doing that at some point next weekend. So, yeah. But other than that, I don't know. What about you? Oh, you don't know what you're doing? Probably going up to the mountains?
We're thinking about there's a big national race at Trestle this weekend. So we're thinking about going up there. And oddly, there's still condos available, for Airbnb.
Huh.
So looking at that, I have a bunch of buddies. I am not in the race. My girlfriend's dad is in town this weekend. So we're going to hang out with him, go to a couple of baseball games. I'm not a big baseball fan. I let her know that. So we'll go for sure one night, I think 2 back-to-back nights. We'll go to a nice dinner here in Denver and then do some activities. And I think he flies back. He flies in Thursday afternoon. And he flies back Sunday morning. Yeah, so can maybe thought about going up Sunday is when the final races are. So I thought about going Sunday and then coming back Tuesday morning just to avoid all the mountain traffic coming back to Denver. That will be pure mayhem. So I thought about that. And then my nephew wants to go biking again. We went again last weekend. He had not a bad crash. To me, it looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you this, but yeah, he flipped over the bars and he was going pretty fast too. Luckily, somebody didn't hit him coming behind him because he was on a blind jump. He tried to avoid it, but he was going too fast. He tried to avoid the jump because you jump up in the air, of course, but you land a little lower than the jump. So if you're coming up to the jump, you can't see what's below the jump. And he was below the jump because he crashed, but I was at the bottom, so I could see the whole thing happen. Yeah, so that was pretty shitty. But he was all right. He popped right back up, 17. So yeah, luckily he was all right. But yeah, see something like that, that'll rattle you. So took it easy for the rest of the day. But so this is last weekend going into our previous weekends. Did Trestle. So he wants to ride again this weekend. And I said, maybe instead of Trestle, we can do just a local jump park, dirt jumps.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. He's getting into that stuff. So that could be cool. But either way, I do want to grill somewhere. I do want to barbecue. And for some reason, fireworks pops in my head. I don't even have fireworks, but I just love fireworks.
It's not a firework hole.
I know, but I just love fireworks. And you want to get back on the ice and you want to get back to playing hockey. So maybe I need to stretch more. I was so sore after this past weekend. My legs were gassed. I need to stretch more, and stretching more and playing hockey go hand in hand. So yeah, that was basically my last weekend. I was going up to the mountains. And we were there for a couple of days, and my nephew came up on Saturday. But no, he's okay. He took two spills. We took it easy on Saturday.
Mm.
That being said, how was your last weekend?
It was all right. We did a bunch of stuff around the house on Saturday. Actually, mostly my husband, pressure washed, cut the grass. We got a new fan from like Home Depot for outside because the outside one, it worked. It was fine. But we've had it for so long, like the blades started drooping because it's out in the heat. So we replaced that. I think I told you a couple of weeks ago, we bought a couple of generators. And so he had to put something electrical so that if and when we need the generators, it's just an easy plug-in type thing. Don't ask me. I don't know. He's the electrician. So not that there's any storms out there or anything, but it was mostly just like a lot of like house stuff that we needed to catch up on. Kids did laundry and, all that kind of stuff. And then Sunday, Formula One was back from the summer break. So that was my jam.
Mm.
My husband and the kids went out and what did they do? Oh, they went up to Spirit Halloween and a comic book store. And I needed a bracelet cleaned. So they did all that. And I was home watching Formula One, which was fantastic because McLaren won the race. Lando got his second victory. And I just read, just before we started this podcast, that Williams have axed Logan mid-season.
Really?
Yep.
That a
He
big
did
deal?
that. Yeah, it's not very common that a team will axe a driver mid-season. They'll normally wait until after. The only team that's notorious for doing that is Red Bull. They don't seem to give two shits. However, who was it that axed? Williams axed Nick DeVries. Was it Nick DeVries? Was it Williams? Yeah, I think it's Williams axed Nick DeVries in the middle of a season. But anyway, so they have axed him, which I didn't know if they were going to do or not, but they did. I guess Logan had a massive fiery crash in FP3 on Saturday. So he couldn't qualify because his car wasn't ready in time, but they did let him race. He didn't do that great. And you never really want to see anybody replace mid-season, but if they were going to replace him, I would have liked them to replace him with Mick Schumacher, but they didn't. They replaced him with some Argentinian F2 driver, Franco Colapinto. I don't know who he is. So that's what I did. And then, that was really kind of it. Oh no, I could go lay in my pool for a little bit and get some sun. But the weather wasn't looking that great for boating. So we were like, okay, we just planned on not going. And then actually the weather, we probably could have gone, but it was okay because there's always something that needs doing around the house. So did that. My dog, what's vexing me this week? I'll tell you what's vexing me this week. My Frenchie chewed on my earbuds that you bought me for Christmas 3 years ago.
Oh.
Luckily, she didn't swallow a battery or anything. Luckily,
yeah. Where were they?
So they were charging. They were charging on my desk where they always charge, and somehow she's not like a wire chewer, but I think she must have knocked the wire so that they fell on the floor. But somehow she managed to get both of the buds out of the case. Didn't touch the case, but chewed on the buds. So I was very mad.
Completely destroyed when you noticed?
Just gone. So there's not a chance. There's no saving them. So I ordered a pair of Apple, because those were Beats. So I ordered a pair of Apple ones because they'll work with my chargers that I have, because I have a 3-in-1 charger by my bed, and then I have a 3-in-1 travel charger for my watch, my phone, and so they'll work with that. So they should be coming today. Yeah, so I thought we were over the chewing stage. Can you believe she's going to be 2 on Friday?
No, you texted me. I'm coming up with ideas for her birthday. No, 2 years old. No, because I remember when you got her.
Mm-hmm. I got her
sent me
for
pictures.
my birthday. Yeah.
You got her what?
I got her for my birthday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw pictures. I was like, oh my God, that was the coolest looking dog. And you said she smells and everything. I kind of laughed.
Smells like a puppy.
But yeah, chewing it. I don't remember you ever telling me that she chewed at anything.
Oh my God. She would chew on our baseboards.
Okay, I do remember us recording a podcast. She was going ham on something in the background. I think we had to stop recording at 1 second.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
She's chewed on my coffee table, which I'm not super upset about because I really don't like my coffee table. We've had it for 10 years and I'm trying to replace it, but I can't find one I like. But she does way less chewing now. She has these cheese chews that I give her that she chews on. She's typically, you won't find her chewing on anything she shouldn't. She's got chewy toys and she kind of knows what she can and can't. I think just this happened to fall on the floor and she's like, oh, But yeah, she did like to rearrange do some house decoration here and there. But yeah, so she's 2 on Friday, so that's crazy.
What are you going to get her?
So BarkBox actually, so she gets a BarkBox subscription every month, which has like some treats and toys in it. And BarkBox actually does a birthday box, which I already have. I just haven't opened it. So it's here waiting for her. And I think it's got like some toys and some treats in there. So I got her that.
I'm not sure what I'm going to get her. I will get her something. Pardon me. I will get her something. I don't know what. I've got a couple of ideas, but I'll just like ship it over. Obviously, are you guys doing like a doggy cake and like 2 candles and?
I think there's a doggy cake in the box. I think I gotta look in it. Last year I got her like a little hat and a little doggy cupcake thing. I need to look in the box and see what's in there because I think there's like it looks like a cake with like a doggy cookie.
I think I remember that doggy hat, the birthday cap. Yeah, I think I remember that.
Well, she just cost me a few $100s, so But anyway, that's what's vexing me this week. The fact that I had to spend out a few $100s for another pair of headphones. Jerk.
I need a new pair. I was thinking like over the year, just for like travel, flying, whatever. And
yeah,
you were saying that the Apple ones aren't that good.
Apparently they're not. I don't know because I don't have. You're talking about the over the ear ones?
Yeah, the studio ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know because I don't have those. I have a pair of Beats that I've had for years and years and years, and they work, so I don't feel like replacing them. And I only use those for the gym typically because the in-ear ones at the gym, if you're like running or something like that, I just feel like they're going to fall out. So I don't know, but for the price, I just feel like there's better options out there. Gotcha. That's all. They're so expensive. I mean, they're pretty, don't get me wrong. And I think it's the only thing left that, because I don't have an iPad either. Like an iPad and those earphones are like the only things left in the Apple world that I don't own.
Okay. I've heard good things. I've heard bad things, but I would like wired and wireless style of headphones.
Yeah. What do you want wired for?
Like on flights or like going to bed, just so it doesn't eat my battery.
Oh, yeah. Fair. That makes sense. It does make sense. All right. Well, let's get on with our episode. You may recall that last week we did part 1 of the step-by-step dispensary SEO campaign strategy. So this week we're on to part 2. To recap, last week we discussed setting the foundation, which means defining your goals, making sure your goals align with your overall business, figure out what your target audience is and how you can reach them. And then we talked about conducting a content audit. Basically, we talked about what an audit is, the tools that you can use to conduct your content audit, take a look and see what's performing for you and what's not performing for you, figure out any gaps that you might have in your content that you already done. So we talked about that. And we talked about a technical audit. Again, we talked about the tools that you can use for that, like Search Console, Screaming Frog. You want to make sure that your site speed is good, that you've got great URL structure, good crawlability and indexability. And then we finished up with creating a content calendar. So we went over a little bit about why that's important and how you can do that. And also remember that each of these things that we talked about in episode 1, we do have an actual in-depth podcast on each one where we go really in-depth into like technical audits or content calendars or whatever. So this is more of like a bird's eye view of like a whole strategy. But if you do want more in-depth conversation about it, you can go back and look at our podcast that you can find on LinkedIn and YouTube and Instagram. And yeah, you can go back and you can take a listen to those if you want more of an in-depth thing than we're doing in this episode. So this is episode 2, which is literally just following on with the next few things that we do in our SEO campaign strategies, but that we recommend that you also do yourselves, either for your client or for your own dispensary for a successful campaign. So the first thing, which isn't really the first thing, but the next thing, which is the first thing we're discussing in this episode, is going to be your on-page SEO optimization. So do you want to quickly go over what that is and how we do that?
Yeah, the on page. Okay. So on page is exactly what it sounds like. It's like what's on the page of your website. So the technical terms would be like your title tags, your meta descriptions, your headers, like your H1, H2, H3, having like proper hierarchy. Your content, correct keyword usage, like your keyword inventory needs to be in your content correctly, and indexing. Internal linking, so like pages linking together, your silos linking together, that kind of goes back to your content calendar. And then images, of course, we're not big fans of videos because they can kind of bloat the website, so we're not going to cover videos. But image optimization, like compressing the images, making the file size smaller so it loads faster, the alt text on the image, and then file names. So I guess we should just start at the top then, our title tags and meta descriptions. Exactly like how to do that. So like if you get a plugin, we're partial to Yoast SEO. So if you go into the back end if you're using WordPress, pull up Yoast and you can do your title tags and meta descriptions there. There's like a yardstick on the back end of that plugin when using the plugin. It tells you how many characters you have. So like if you're targeting like purple weed, for example, your blog post is where to find the best purple weed. You can put in like a title tag. You can have like 5 different ideas, put that into the bar, the input bar in the Yoast plugin, and then it'll give you like a little green bar that tells you like, okay, this is an optimized title tag or this is not optimized.
I actually really like it because that's so helpful, isn't it? Like when you know that you're on the right page, or in terms of your title tags and stuff, just seeing that little thing is like I think it's so helpful.
Yeah, it tells you if you've gone like too many letters, too many words, basically, is what it does. So and to back up even more, the title tag is the part that shows up in Google search results. So like if your title tag is what is purple weed, like that's what's going to show up Google search organic results. And then your meta description is what shows up. I think it's 160 characters underneath the title tag and search results. So you can optimize that. So that's the title tag and meta descriptions.
Right.
And then your header tags, one H1 per page, and then following the page down, paragraph headers, those are H2s. And if you have subcategory to an H2, that's an H3. And the H2s is different from H3s in the fact that an example of an H3 would be like, it would follow an H2. So the H2 is, if you're doing content about wedding cake strain, for example, your H2 can be like wedding cake strain lineage. And then the H3 would be like animal mints. And then another H3 would be triangle kush. So they're like subheadings of the H2. So it just follows in order.
Right.
So paragraph headers is really important. Definitely put your main keyword as the H1, and then your following keywords, the highest volume is H2s and H3s, of course. Have your writer use your keyword inventory, and then you can internally link to other pages. All of this falls under on-page SEO. So internally linking, that is a big, big part of it. And of course, image optimization. You can go to like tinypng.com, compress the image, use your alt text. Alt text would be like wedding cake strain. And then the file name would be wedding-cake-strain.png, for example. And then you can put that on your website. So all that falls under on-page SEO.
Sweet. And so following up from that, and they basically go hand in hand because you don't do one without the other, would be your off-page SEO. So
off-page, yes. That's everybody's topic, right? Link building, citations. So like local SEO, optimizing for local search results, getting in the map pack, optimize your Google My Business, Google Business Profile, optimizing for that. So like having a keyword like dispensary, if you're in like Colorado, having dispensary in your business name, and then having cannabis store as the business type, and then having the proper hours and linking from your Google Business Profile to your respective city page. That's key as well. And then just putting in like, updating once, maybe twice a week with images and, Q&A posts like that. That's off page. And then link building can be like local page like Yelp, listing your name, address, phone number in there. But definitely optimize your Google My Business. I would prioritize that over local citations. Not by much, but you want your Google Business Profile to rank in the map pack.
Yeah.
To take care of that, then focus on getting clean backlinks, name, address, phone number, citations. You can do some content outreach from your website. All that falls into off-page SEO.
Yeah, those backlinks are really important, but they need to be like good backlinks, like decent backlinks. They'll be getting those shady shady backlinks can help you.
You got to be clean.
Yeah.
Haro helps help a reporter out, like at the local level. So it can be like local newspapers talking about your dispensary, how you guys are active in the community, that kind of thing. Once you kind of learn the ins and outs of how to reach out to a reporter, those backlinks will come.
And there are some people who are amazing at being able to obtain backlinks, like good backlinks, like that's what they do all day and they are great at it. So if it is something that you're not so hot on, there are definitely companies out there that can help you do that. Some people are just not comfortable asking those kind of things, and you have to recognize your strengths and focus on those, but backlinks are super important for sure. Something else you can also do is integrate with your social media. So don't forget that social media is a super powerful tool. So whether you're using influencers, hashtags, all those kind of things, obviously TikTok is huge at the moment, but there's also Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. So do not underestimate the power of social media and how that can benefit you with your SEO. So definitely link to those as much as you can. So we don't talk too much about social media only because we don't personally do it ourselves, but don't take that as a fact that it's not important, because it obviously is. It's just not something that we particularly focus on. Most dispensaries will have their own social media team and they do a phenomenal job of, updating everything. They are the inside people when it comes to their dispensary. So they're far better suited to do that than we are. We do work hand in hand with the social media teams. So there is that. Okay, so we've basically set the foundation. We did a content audit and a technical audit. We've set up a content calendar. We've done on-page and off-page SEO. So how do we know that this is all working?
Take the before and after. So take the benchmark, like you mentioned, do the audit first, do the technical and content audit. And then once you've been doing this, I would say at least 4 weeks, your content, your backlink acquisition, your technical portion, cleaning up the website, then run another audit, do another Screaming Frog, SEMrush, whatever tool you use, GTmetrix, make sure the website is performing how you want, within reason, of course, reasonable expectations, and then optimize from there. So again, we're partial to Screaming Frog as far as audits, but using Google Analytics and Search Console as well. Obviously, like you have to track your performance, your website performance, integrating those tools and monitoring them. I like getting audits twice a week. We have them automated here, right in your inbox every morning. It's important to catch a website. If anything has happened, if you get, especially with this latest August core algorithm update, we've seen the websites get kicked square in the mouth. Yeah. So you have to recover and you have to catch it quick. Yeah. And rinse and repeat. Keep your technical on point, keep your content on point, keep your backlinks on point, and monitor them, audit them, and just scale. Basically saying keep your shit together, have a plan, a good content calendar, and just scale it. Just pour gasoline on it. If it's working, keep it clean, pour gasoline on it.
Definitely agree. All right. So I really think that about covers it. Again, this was part 2. So don't forget to go back and listen to episode 71, which was part 1. Otherwise, this might not make as much sense to you because this is the tail end of everything. But hopefully that helps you a little bit more. And again, remember that every step that we've talked about in this SEO strategy or SEO campaign strategy, there is an in-depth podcast on each topic that we've talked about. So please go either our Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and check those out, because that will definitely give you more step-by-step on how to do certain things or how not to do certain things as well. So yeah, also whilst you're listening, and Spotify and Apple, you can listen to us there too.
I think we literally have an episode on every point of discussion.
We literally do, because I checked. Yeah. So whilst you're listening to us on Apple or Spotify or YouTube, or you find us on LinkedIn, or you find us on Instagram, it would be fantastic if you just give us a like and a subscribe. And if you're feeling super, super nice, you can go ahead and give us a review, because we would really like that. So yeah, that's it. We'll be back with another episode next week, when it will in fact be September, and we will all have enjoyed, hopefully, a nice holiday weekend. So in the meantime, give us a subscribe or a like or whatever you'd like to do, and we would love that.
Peace.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the High Rankings podcast, brought to you by Dispensary-Growth, the preeminent SEO agency for dispensaries. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you found value in the insight and the tips we shared. If you did, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're feeling super generous, we would love it if you left us a review. If there's a specific topic you'd like us to cover in a future episode, or if you have any questions, you can go ahead and find us on LinkedIn or YouTube. We'll see you next time.